ADTV, what is going on? As always, I'm Eric, Dave's friend, and before I get to my review of the episode, I do want to talk about real quickly what happened this past weekend. The worst mass shooting in our nation's history took place, and I want to just give my absolute condolences to not only the people that were killed, but also the people that were hurt. When this keeps happening, it doesn't get easier, it just gets harder, because you just think, why does this keep happening? So I just want to say, Orlando, my heart is with you. It's with you. So on to the episode, Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 8, No One. So I'm going to do a little bit of a shorter review this week. So basically, we last saw Arya. She was very badly hurt by the Wraith from the House of Black and White. We find out she went to seek refuge with the actress she was supposed to kill, Lady Crane. Lady Crane helps her. She stitches up her wounds and says to Arya, hey, why don't you come with us? The play's moving. And Arya's like, I probably would forget the lines. So later in the episode, Arya hears a noise and she sees Lady Crane's been killed by the Wraith. And the Wraith says to Arya, look, if you would have done your job, she would have died quickly. But now there's a new name for Faceless God, it's you. And Arya takes off, and the Wraith chases her down. And a lot of people mentioned it was kind of like the Terminator, which it kind of was. Kind of did remind me of that. Arya takes a big hit. She's rolling down like 50 steps and all kinds of fruit. So she's bleeding. The Wraith has her captured, has her cornered. Arya picks up Needle. The Wraith says, "Look, we've done this before. That's not going to help you." But Arya takes out a candle. The whole room goes black. We're going to go to the House of Black and White. We see Jaqen H'ghar. He looks up at all the faces and he sees the Wraith's face has been added to them. Turns around, sees Arya. Arya's holding Needle to him. He says, a girl has truly become no one. She says, no. I'm Arya Stark of Winterfell and I'm going home. And Jaqen H'ghar kind of smiles at her. Okay. He's like, okay, whatever. I'm really glad this arc is over. I have to admit, it didn't really engage me these past 2 seasons, with the exception of when Arya killed that horrible pedophile Meryn Trant. I kind of felt this story could have been done in 4 or 5 episodes. I don't think it needed to be a 2-season thing, but, it's over now, and now hopefully she's going to get out and about, kicking ass, because she's a great character, and that's what she does best. So, next we're going to talk about King's Landing. So the Faith arrived to come to get Cersei, and Cersei goes, the High Sparrow said I could stay here until my trial, and Lancel Lannister goes, no, you got to come with us now. There's going to be violence. She goes, I choose violence. One of the Faith tries to take out the Franken Mountain. Doesn't do anything to him. The Franken Mountain kills the member of the Faith. I wanted them to kill them all. But no, they take off. So later in the episode, there's going to be some kind of royal proclamation made by Tommen, her son. And what it is, he says, there's no longer going to be any trial by combats. That's done. And that was her card to play, her ace. She knew no one could beat the mountain in a trial by combat. So obviously the Faith told the Sparrow this, and the High Sparrow got the king to do this. So she's in trouble, and she says to Qyburn, that thing we were talking about, if you looked into it, he says, yes, and it's more than what you think. And a lot of speculation about what they're talking about. Some people think it could be wildfire, and Cersei might just want to just burn the whole place down. I could see that happening, her wanting to do that. But next I'm going to go to River Run. Brienne and Podrick arrive. Brienne's shocked to see Jaime's there. And before she talks to Jaime, there's this cute little reunion scene with Podrick and Bronn, which I like. But she's talking to Jaime. Jaime's like, I'm shocked to even see you. Look, you found Sansa. You fulfilled your mission to Catelyn Stark, your vow. But she says, look, I'm here to take the Blackfish and the Tully army with me. Jaime's like, look, I've tried, he won't listen. Brienne says, let me talk to him, see if I can persuade him. And before she goes, she offers to give Jaime Oathkeeper back, the Valyrian sword he gave her. And he says, that sword's yours, it will always be yours. And I like that moment. I thought that was cool. But she goes to the Blackfish, pleads her case. He doesn't want to hear it, says, no, I'm not leaving. And then finally, later in the episode, Jaime's talking to Edmure, who's his prisoner now, and he mentions to Edmure, look, I know you have a son you've never met. You have a wife you haven't seen since your wedding night. Edmure at first is defiant. He's like, screw you. But then Jaime plays to his fears and says, look, even if I have to catapult your son into the castle, I'll do what I have to do. Because the only thing I care about is Cersei and getting back to Cersei. So Edmure relents. He goes to the castle, and because he is the true Lord of Riverrun, they listen to him. They ignore the Blackfish. They let Edmure in. He says, "Lay down your arms, get the Blackfish, give him over the phrase." As the Lannisters are coming in, the Blackfish gets Brienne and Podrick out on a boat. Brienne says to the Blackfish, "Why don't you come with us? Don't die here." But he says, "No, I'm not coming with you. You can protect Sansa better than I could." And he's going to go down fighting. He takes his sword out, and he apparently is killed off screen. We don't get to see it, but the final shot's Brienne and Podrick going down the river, and Jaime waves to her goodbye, and she waves back to him. It could be their last scene together, for all we know. So next, Tyrion's in Meereen. He's with Varys. Varys is going on some kind of he's going on some kind of mission, and he warns Tyrion. You made a deal with fanatics. Because we see a Red Priest, talking up Daenerys as the chosen one and all that mumbo jumbo. And then later in the episode, he's talking to Melisandre and Grey Worm, and he's just joking around. But then we hear, a bell. Meereen's under siege. The Masters have come, and they tell Tyrion, we told you not to trust these people, they were right. They were not to be trusted. And Tyrion's like, "What are we going to do?" Grey Worm says, "Look, the safest place we could be right now is in this pyramid that we're in." Then we hear something. We hear a noise, and we can hear it's a dragon. We don't know what dragon it is though. So they open the door. Daenerys comes storming in, and we see Drogon flying behind her. And the moment kind of fell flat for me. I gotta be honest. She didn't say anything. It just fell a little flat. But so I want to talk about the Hound, because this is interesting stuff. So some of it's going to have to do with the book a little bit. So he comes upon some of the Brotherhood of Albanners who, killed all those people last week. He just slaughters them. And later in the episode, he comes upon the main one who spoke last week, who's now in a noose with two other members, and who's with them, though, from the Brotherhood of Albanners, Beric and Thoros. Now, for people who don't remember, Beric's the person who the Hound fought in the trial by combat in Season 3, who the Hound killed, who was brought back to life by Thoros, and who we find out has been brought back to life many times. He has no eye, he has all scars all over his body. Now, this is where I'm going to talk about the book for a minute. When I first saw Beric, my first reaction was, uh-oh, does this mean LS isn't going to happen on the show? Book readers will know what I'm talking about. But then, Donna Dickens, who works for HitFix, tweeted out, "This can only mean that LS is going to happen. Why else would they bring his character on?" Then I thought about it, and I'm like, she probably is right. So, obviously, if it happens, the timeline of how they do it's going to be completely different than the books, but I hope it really does still happen. But so, to continue with the episode, the Hound wants to kill them. The Beric says, "Look, you can kill two of them." The Hound wants to gut them and stuff. They're like, "No, you can just let them hang. We'll give you two." So the Hound does it, kills them both, avenging the people that died last week. Then the Brotherhood says to him, "Why don't you join us? We have people to fight. There's something going on. You should really join us." Overall, like I said, not my favorite episode. It was okay, but next week's looks amazing. I'll probably talk about it for like an hour. It's a battle episode, which we know the show does between Blackwater and Hardhome. We know the show does battle episodes very, very well. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So that's my thoughts. That's what I thought. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to DTV, and I will see you guys later.